Hello, I'm Sandrine, CEO and founder of Vint. Welcome to my home. Come on in. We've been in this house for 12 years now. It's in Islington, between Highbury and Arsenal, so a very mixed bunch. And obviously my husband is a fan of Arsenal, so that's great for him. We just love the area. I think we didn't know it so well before we moved here, but then we discovered that's one of the areas. You have like 2 parks nearby, a lot of very interesting small commerces. You have like family-friendly shops, cafes, trendy restaurants. You have all the things mafia around Clissold, but also a very diverse type of small businesses. Uyghur shop, Babanans. What else? We had obviously a French bakery, a French fromagerie, butcher, fishmonger, and I saw recently that Time Out had nominated Blackstock Road, which is a street nearby, one of the coolest streets in the world. So yeah, I think we will have everything. We're very lucky. So this is a living room, and we did a lot of work here. So this is a terrace Victorian home, and obviously traditionally had a lot of separate rooms. We really want to have open spaces and a lot of lateral space, which can be hard with terrace home, but we decided to knock off the wall, open here with the crystal doors, and that allows us to have a very large living room, but also with 2 separate areas. So here is the adult space when we like to host our friends, have a drinks, where on the other side we have the TV corner, where our daughter can also watch TV when we're having adults time. And this is Christmas time. That's also the place where we still have the trees, the gifts, waiting for Santas to come. We really love Christmas, especially since we've had our daughter, 5-year-old, who still believes in Santa. And yeah, she just loved decorating the tree. That was the first time when she really participated to the decoration. We really wanted to make the tree quite eclectic, if you like the style of the house, and instead of just going to a shop and buying a bunch of all, of the same bubbles. So some of our special meanings, for example, this one is part of a collection of vintage bubbles we got on Vintario. Why buy a new bubble from plastic when you can find some that were, really crafted? We also, I think it's a great time to support charities. So we got a few from Save the Children. And then my daughter picked the pink one. Initially, I said, I don't want any red or pink, but she really liked this one. She picked that from the charity shop. We had also beautiful fish, but unfortunately, we broke it, so I can't show you. Another one I really like is this one that also comes from a charity shop. And obviously, because Santa is always so generous, we have those beautiful stockings from Toast, which is an opportunity to add, a few bits and bobs. Everything in the house, or almost everything, is vintage and antique, and from Vintario, obviously. I think when we redid our living room, we wanted to have a more grown-up feel, but also moving away for the more classic mid-century style we had in the past. So I feel like a bit, more voluptuous. So picked some Art Deco pieces like this drinks cabinet. It has a beautiful wood. It's a great way to hide all the liquors my husband is collecting. Then, I think we kept everything quite neutral and in kind of neutral tones, but with the rugs that give a pop of color and that we had kind of bespoke made. Really love this coffee table because it has this organic kidney shape, and it's rounded, so that's very safe with the 5-year-old. We really like this kind of custom-made shelf because it was a clever way to make the whole room. In the past, we had this big open room and it was hard to understand how to place the furniture. And our interior designer has this great idea to separate it, but without separating, with these open shelves. So we can put some stuff that's, we collected from our travels. So for example, this terrarium I did with my best friend, Leslie, for my birthday. Obviously we have Santa here who can dance, and you can see through and the lights go through. And on the other side, that's where we have I would say, spends most of our evenings. It would say the highlight of the room is the Bellini sofa. I think it goes really well with like 80s kind of a coffee table with a smoked glass. So it's just like kind of a different vibe. But it remained quite eclectic with a Moroccan rug and this sideboard made of bamboo I found from a dealer in Belgium. I just love vintage because the only way I can be sure no one will have the same pieces or the same look. I think initially when we moved into the house 12 years ago, I said, okay, it's time to graduate from the flat pack furniture we had in our first place. Really just didn't want to have a home that was looking like a showroom. So just say, okay, if I buy something antique on vintage, that's gonna create this special look and really add a lot of character. No to the sameness. So yeah, that's why we like to mix and match styles, eras, materials, because that just, I think, make your home come to life. It all started when actually I was looking for a chair for my cat, Missy Fu. I wanted to have a chair that matches very bright yellow eyes. And it took me 3 months to go around town, like to shop in North London, Chiswick, South London, everywhere. Finally, I found this perfect pole vaulter mid-century armchair in a shop in Dalston called Chet & Sorensen. It's okay, that's exactly what I need for Missy Fu. But I have a whole house to furnish, 5-bedroom. I'm not gonna spend 5 months hunting each piece across town, and that's how I had the idea for the interior. How could we make it easier for people, who have busy lives to find great, unique, pre-loved pieces, but without spending all your spare time doing that? So here I'm in the kitchen, out of the house, and we did a full renovation 5 years ago. It finished 1 week before I had my daughter, so that was a bit of a stressful moment. Initially, we wanted to extend the whole back room into the kitchen, but then when we had the architect come in, she said, like, we can't really do that. So we said, okay, let's just do a renovation, redecoration, change the kitchen. That was quite aged. And so, but the good surprise is that when we started removing the flooring, we realized that we could gain a few centimeters, so that allowed us to get more light, which is a bit, can be a struggle when you have a room in the basement. And so I think we managed to get a room which is quite bright, and I think I didn't want to have wooden floor anymore because it can be very messy in the kitchen when you use the kitchen a lot, and especially with a child. And so we wanted to have concrete, but concrete takes so long to dry. We settled for micro cement, which is a brilliant innovation. It's like only 3 millimeters. I think it dried in 1 week versus 4 weeks. And it's also quite cost effective and it looks good. But because I think like the concrete style can be quite cold, we wanted to add some warmth. So by using a pink painting on the wall, which is pink ground by Ferron, and having some oak kind of touches, like the baton we have here, covering the stair with some lights. The statement piece in the room is our dining table. That's a bit of a beast. It's a travertine dining table that comes from Italy, and the dealer came with his 2 brothers and his dad to deliver it. And because it weighs 500 kilos, I think it's like 150 kilos for each of the leg and another 150 kilos for the tabletop. So this table is never going to leave the house. And to go with it, I found those great tonneau chairs in bent wood, which are very light actually, so a bit dangerous again when you have a 5-year-old, but we are very comfy in the original cane and everything. So for the kitchen itself, we wanted something quite neutral with white furniture. A key touch we wanted to have was a Buster and Punch handles for the kitchen. They are really sturdy, and I really like the details. One of my pet peeves is hanging cabinets. I really don't like that. I don't like anything that obstructs your view and the light. That's why we had like very dim lighting, but also because we needed to have some storage, for example, for wine glasses, we decided to have some open shelves in glass. So when we designed the kitchen, it was really important for us to have a very large kitchen island because that's where we spend most of our time. So when we have friends around, we have some drinks here when we are finishing cooking. Our daughter also like doing our, art and crafts on the kitchen island. And obviously, I have a lot of counter space when I'm cooking. I'm quite of a tidy cook, but I would say, it allows you to be organized, have all the ingredients there. I found a recipe for chicken morel. And that was delicious, and I think that's a great dish for Christmas. Very festive, very comforting, heavy, the classic French with a lot of butter and cream. So I'm planning to do that for Christmas, for when we are going to be at my in-laws. And for dessert, being French, a traditional chocolate bûche. So last time I made it with Belen, I think the struggle was like not having her eat all the cream and the sprinkles and decoration before I managed to roll the bûche. Okay, so that's a chair that started everything, the infamous yellow armchair from Paul Volter, which is a Danish designer, and the upholstery is original. We never actually even washed it, but it's Missy chair, so that's fine. This painting, it's a funny story. We were in Chile for our last trip before COVID and before our daughter, and we walked into this cafe in Valparaiso, which is a town 1 hour away from Santiago de Chile, and we saw this painting hanging in a kind of design shop, and we just really were attracted to the colors, the bright blue and orange, and we asked if we could be in touch with the artist, Felipe Castro, and he said, yeah, I can ship it to you to London, no problem. And it was not even that expensive. So we said, okay, how are we gonna get a painting shipped from Chile to London over Christmas? And it actually arrived, shortly after we came back to London, and shortly before the lockdown happened for COVID. And since then, we bought a couple more of his paintings, because we follow him on Instagram. So there is this one, which is a small one, and we have a larger piece that we have in our house in Mallorca. Here we are in our daughter Belen's bedroom. As you can tell, she really likes yellow, and really fits her personality. She's very bubbly, happy, always making jokes. So you can see we went really full on the yellow walls, yellow joinery, yellow cushions, yellow rug. She also liked pinks, so we had to compromise a bit. When we designed the room, it was really important for us to have storage that could also evolve as she grew up. So we had those custom cabinet made, and this lovely arch, I think that is fitting for a princess bedroom, but it's still wide enough so that you can fit a queen size bedroom should we move and other people in the house. We wanted Belen to be able to navigate a room on her own without being too dependent on adults. That's why we chose those big knobs for the drawers and wardrobe so that she can open it herself. There's this little person desk and chair, and this vintage mirror that we got from a dealer in Germany, where just Belen loves watching herself and how pretty and beautiful she is in the morning. And then Belen loves to read, or to be read to, and so she has a lot of books. And here we have the reading corner, with this very comfy sofa. And here's a little animal friends, a swan, and we have an elephant. Both are gifts. The Eames elephant is a birth gift from one of my best friends, Leslie, and obviously an iconic design piece. And we also had this swan that some friend moving to New York left us. And here's a bedroom, and that's really my sanctuary. That's the last room of the house that we did when we redecorated. Our bed used to be the other way around because we had this constraint of a chimney. We had freestanding chest of drawers on either side, but it didn't work well. And actually the decision to switch the bed over. We just made the room feel brighter and bigger. We wanted to have an Art Deco style vibe in the room, so we had this bed made with an arch and some velvets and boucle upholstery. It's a super king size bed, I think, very important to invest in bedding. I think that the one thing is really important. I really value my sleep. To complement the Art Deco look, we got kind of burnt walnut Art Deco chest of drawers, bedside tables, a console, very hard to find, great bedside table that fits the size of the bed, and also we didn't have so much space, so that's the perfect size, and with those rounded detailing. And we also had this Art Deco burnt walnut desk made to make the most of the space in front of the former chimney. This chest of drawers is one of the main, I think, investments when it comes to furniture in the house. It's a very large piece. We just love it. I think it's a very interesting shape. All those drawers, there's a lot of storage. I think that's one of the pieces that we will definitely take with us if we were to move home. We also have this interesting lamp. This is like brass palm lamp, which is actually from the 80s. And when I used to see those lamps on Vintage, I was wondering who buy those, you know, in what type of room do they fit? And when we had the room almost ready and thinking about lighting, that's where like, okay, a brass lamp would fit really well here because chest of drawer is such a statement piece. We need to have something that also as strong and bold of a statement. And next to it is my favorite place to get ready in the morning. It's a lounge chair that I bought 6 years ago. It was vintage and didn't have a cushion anymore, so we didn't really make use of it. And my husband got fed up of having that in storage, and he threatened to give it away. So I had to find an upholsterer, got the cushion made with the perfect stripes from Call of Ali, and I love having my morning coffee here. This is my little Christmas gift to myself, the Liberty Advent Calendar. I just love the products, and actually my daughter really likes the house, and she asked me if I could empty it, put little present for her in each of the drawer, and I thought that's a great idea. So yeah, I promise you I'm going to do it next year. Thanks for coming, and Merry Christmas, everyone.